Scene 1. Catherine's bedroom in a small town, middle class English cottage, 1968. There is a single bed. A nightstand with a lamp is on one side and the chair is on the other. A toy chest is against the opposite wall. The door is across the room from the bed. Catherine is in her nightdress, in bed with her stuffed bear, Winnie the Pooh. She cannot get to sleep. She's playing with him, doing creative kids stage business. Finally,
Daddy, Daddy, Dad! I can't get to sleep.
Well, I expect it's the fault of this chap here again tonight, isn't it?
What chap?
Why, old Sir Winston here. I expect he's been keeping you awake again, hasn't he? Trying to impress her with your tales of daring do, old man? Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to pack it in for the night. You're trifling with a young lady of very large intellect who's got to get up in the morning and put in her first appearance this term at the local schoolhouse. Wouldn't want to distress your teacher now, would we, Catherine, by doing something horrid like nodding off right in the middle of her opening day discourse on the sounds of silence, instructing all of you on how children and bears should be seen and not heard.
Dad?
What's her name, your new teacher? Miss Chatsworthy, didn't you say?
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, not Miss Chatsworthy. I distinctly heard Mum say, oh, no, Miss Penworthy, that's it. No, not Miss Penworthy. Papercut, flyleaf, something to do with writing or reading or elocution or maths. A number name, that's it. Miss Fifth. That's it, isn't it? Miss Fifth?
Miss Birke was last term. My teacher for the new term is Mrs. Prent.
Print. Oh, Mrs. Print. Well, I knew it was something about writing and reading and maths. Print, really, that rather encompasses the whole thing, doesn't it?
Prent, Dad. Mrs. Prent. Not the I sound, the S sound. Prent.
Oh, yes, well, Prent. Mrs. Prent it is. Mrs. Prent it shall be forevermore. I shall remember that, Catherine. But prior to Visitors' Day, you may just want to remind me of it, if you would.
Mum will remind you.
Yes, I'm sure she will, Catherine. I've no doubt she will.
Mum keeps track of everything.
Yes, Catherine, your mum does keep track of everything. She likes to keep things in their natural order, as she sees it. And I've a feeling she'll be coming in to order you to bed in a moment, and without Sir Winston to keep you company.
Not if you're here, Dad. Mum does what you say. Well, she does often do what you say, usually after a bit.
After she's had her say, you mean?
So, you see, she could have her say, and then you can just tell her what to do.
I prefer to avoid confrontation of that sort with your mother, Catherine. So, come on. Come on, the pair of you. Back into bed. Must be bright-eyed tomorrow morning. Make a good first impression on Miss First. Oh, Fifth. Firth.
Mrs. Prent.
Print. Mrs. Print. Yes, thank you, Catherine. Now old Dad'll tuck you up, and before you know it, you'll be off dreaming of your nearest school holiday. And you, Sir Winston, I suggest that your best bet is to keep mum till morning. And as for you, miss, you just snuggle in here, and if he tries to keep you awake with all of his pontificating pronouncements upon your schoolwork, nothing but blood, toil, tears, and sweat, well, you don't believe a word of it. School for one of your enormous brain power is as easy as falling off a log, isn't it?
School work is dead easy, but going to school, sitting there all day, is blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
A girl after my own heart, murmured Catherine. Good night.
Dad,
Hmm? What is it, Catherine?
I don't think I can get to sleep without a story.
And I almost got away, didn't I?
Just a short one. I think a short one would certainly do it tonight. Any story of yours always puts me right to sleep, Dad.
An observation not infrequently heard from your mother, Catherine. And however can I resist such a compliment as that? It shall be a very short story. You know, your mum's trying to break us of this habit.
Yes, I do know, but it doesn't feel near enough to breaking yet.
So, who's to be the heroine tonight?
You know.
The girl of my dreams. Again? The girl of my dreams it is then. The girl of my dreams is tall, for her age, and has all her own teeth.
Dad, do be serious.
I am being, Catherine. You'll thank me one day for the advice. You'll want to keep your own teeth as long as you can. All set then? All right then. The lady has requested a serious story. A serious story it is. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, a tall little girl for her age, a very serious little girl. And if you excuse my saying so, she did have rather nice teeth in the making, that is. A very promising looking teeth. She was an extremely intelligent girl. I could tell that about her because, do you know, she always had a face in a book. In fact, I can't tell you exactly what this tall little girl actually looked like. All I ever really saw of her was her long, straight brown hair trailing down behind a face that looked, oh, just a moment here, a face that looked all square and blue and had gold letters across where most little girls have their eyes. Letters that read, The Secret Garden.
So, how did you know she had lovely teeth if you didn't actually know what she looked like, Dad?
Lovely teeth? Oh, did I say that? Well, I just knew that she did. They ran in the family. Her mother had lovely teeth. Now, the fact was that this little girl...
Dad?
You must stop interrupting the story, Catherine. I'm not done yet. I'm just barely warmed up here. Now, this girl was so bookish. She just spent her every waking hour in the library. Why, they'd set aside a special room just for her. It was filled to the brim with...
Dad, I don't think this is such a very good story tonight. When is the girl of your dreams actually going to do something besides all this sitting around in the library all the time?
Well, may you ask that, Catherine? It's a question often put to me by your mother. But what would you have her do? Fishing? Shooting? Hunting?
The girl of your dreams is good at sports, isn't she, Dad? Not like me at all. Like Mum. Mum is very good at games, isn't she, Dad?
Yes, Catherine, I would say your mum is very good at games. Very good indeed, as a matter of fact.
Is Mum the girl of your dreams, then?
Mum's not a girl anymore, Catherine. But if you don't get some sleep, you will stay a girl forever. Just like Peter Pan, who never grew up. That'll be you, Catherine. You need your proper rest if you want to grow up to be like Mum. You do want to grow up into a woman like Mum, don't you, Catherine?
I'm not like Mum. I won't grow up like Mum. I don't like to swim. I don't like games. I do love to read.
As do I, Catherine. The world of books is not so very bad a place to be, is it?
It's a very good place to be. I can be anything in books. I can swim like a fish. I'm quite at home in the water, really, in books. I dive sometimes a little. Books are a very nice place to live, I think.
They are indeed. And I expect you'll turn into a woman reading books just as well as you would do swimming the English Channel. Of course, you'll have to do without those marvelous swimmer's shoulders.
I do look like Mum, though, don't I, Dad?
Beginning to.
I know what you're talking about.
You do? Come again?
You know, Dad, a figure.
A figure.
Yes, Mum has a very good figure, doesn't she?
Yes, your mum does have a very good figure, Catherine. But then, so have you. Quite a promising figure in the making. You've inherited your mother's lovely teeth, so I'm sure you've got nothing to worry about in the figure department, Catherine. Do go to sleep now, Catherine. See you in the morning.
Daddy,
What is it now?
is the gal of your dreams very beautiful?
Ah, Werner, Catherine. She's the light of my life. 2. Nan's bedroom, formerly Catherine's, in the same cottage 10 years later, 1978. It is morning. Nan is in her nightdress and bed jacket. She is sitting up in bed, propped up on pillows, a book on her lap, reading. She lifts the book up. It is large. The title is Peyton Place.
Morning, Nan.
Oh, is she off then?
Yes, just this moment walked out the front door. She's getting the 9:36 train into London, a little away day for Mum.
Who'd she get to go with her this time?
Today it's Lois. No, Mildred, I think. Yes, Mildred's got the duty today, I'm sure. They're meeting at the train station.
And what are they going to do in town then?
Shopping the sales at Selfridges, and then lunch at... I've got her itinerary here somewhere.
Oh, I don't need that attenuation thing. I just want to know where it is she's going.
Shopping at Selfridges, and
Not Harrods?
she doesn't like Harrods. Too big, too many foreign tourists, too many Americans, all flaunting their cash and talking, she says, too much loud talk.
Oh, they'd have a hard way to get ahead of her, in my opinion. In the talk department, I mean, not the money. Oh, I know she's got plenty. It's all around here somewhere, you know. Alfred, your dad, left her well provided for. So what else besides shopping and a ladies' lunch? I don't suppose you know what she finds to eat there at Harrods.
Selfridges. Only she's not eating at Selfridges, I don't think. Too expensive. It's here on her itinerary somewhere. Oh, where she's going to have for lunch.
She left you what she's eating, the attenuation thing?
Well, you ask, man. I know it's here somewhere.
Yes, but I didn't think you'd know, Catherine.
Oh, yes, I know. It's all here. Here it is. 11 o'clock. Arrive Selfridges. Shop the sales. Make no purchases, as nothing needed by anyone at this time. Mildred will undoubtedly buy a packet of tobacco for Bert. More's the pity.
She wrote that on the itinerary. Well, whatever's next.
12:30. Walk to Lyons, 213 Piccadilly, and get the veal and ham pie for 3 shillings 3 pence, and the grilled tomatoes for 8 pence. Insist upon the grilled tomatoes because they won't give them to you when you order the veal and ham pie unless you insist.
Veal and ham pie?
Veal and ham pie.
What are we having?
For your lunch and dining pleasure, Nan, I am going to make you the specialty of the house, bacon sandwiches.
No tomatoes.
They're out of season at the moment, Nan.
Well, she's having them. What else has she got in that tenure paper there? Her Miss Fancy Free off to London to sew a fine seam.
2 o'clock. Visit
2 o'clock. What's that? from when? 12:30 until 2 o'clock. How long is that?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half for lunch? It doesn't take an hour and a half to eat a veal and ham pie and a few sickly out of season tomatoes. What else is she doing in Harrods? That's what I'd like to know.
2 o'clock. Visit.
I never heard of such goings on.
2 o'clock. Visit the ladies at Lyons, as it is a better one than the theatres.
The theater. I knew it. What is it this time? No, wait, don't tell me. It's that one she sees every time, isn't it? The mystery. That cheese bait thing.
Mousetrap.
She's seen that how many times? This will be the 9th or 10th time. Why, she sees it every year.
Mother likes continuity.
So what else has she got on that paper?
Just the theatre, and then at 5:45 get the tube to Paddington and the train for home. Arrive home at 7:30 approximately. Approximately.
I didn't think anything in your mother's life ever allowed to be approximately.
Well, one can't always tell about times of train arrivals, can one?
No, I suppose even Myra has got to allow for the approximately-ness of trains. So anyway, gone all day. Oh, good. She really ought to see something besides that mouse play over and over again. Broaden her horizons a bit.
She likes the mousetrap. Says it gives her a certain satisfaction knowing in advance how it will turn out.
I think the majority of the world's population knows how it turns out. The thing's gone on so long, too long, if you ask me.
16 years. John says it'll probably go another 16 at least. Very popular with the tourists.
Oh, I certainly doubt we'll see that mouse hole thing cluttering up the place more than another couple of years at best, Catherine. Everybody will have seen it who's got a mind to. Anyway, is that young husband of yours getting on all right, is he?
Yes, he's doing rather well at the moment. Do you want sugar this round?
No sugar. I'm sweet enough sugar, without sugar, Catherine. Don't you think so, dear? You take after me, you know.
Yes, I do think you're very sweet, Nan. Isn't it?
What are they?
Lemon today.
Oh, yes, I like lemon.
How are you getting on with your book, Nan?
It's a good book, this. Mildred bought it to me last week. Brought it in a brown paper sack. Your mother doesn't know I've got it. I file it in here between the mattress and the box spring whenever she's about to pay one of her duty visits. Fortunate thing, your mother always sticking so close to schedule.
Same place I used to file my books.
Oh, did you read Peyton Place then?
No, but I've heard a great deal about it.
Oh, it's got a lot of good parts in it, Catherine. Mildred's got them all marked. Here, see where she's turned down all these corners. Scandalous stuff. I've never read anything quite like it in my life, dear. I didn't know people actually did such things as this. You ought to read it.
Maybe people don't actually do such things. It is a book of fiction.
Oh, well, you ought to read it anyhow, dear. It's quite educational, I think. And you being so newly married, why, I should think it would do a world of good. You might learn a few things, Catherine. Surprise your husband.
John's not too keen on those sorts of surprises, Nan.
Just like your grandfather. And not at all like your father. My Myrna used to complain all the time about Alfred's insatiable.
Nan!
Oh, sorry, dear. I do get carried away sometimes. I think it's this book, this Peyton place. It seems to be having an effect on me. Anyway, I suspect that's why Myrna goes to see what that mouse play all the time. I mean, she knows what's in it. No sex, I'll bet. Very safe entertainment. I do just wonder, though, Catherine, do you suppose she used to write down that, sex on her daily itinerary thing?
Not daily, surely.
No, I suppose not. Catherine, will you help me, dear? I want to sit in the chair for a spell. So, John's getting on all right at the university, is he? Likes teaching?
Yes, he does like teaching. Not like me. I'm afraid I shall hate it.
Oh, Catherine, I'm sure you'll get on to it, dear. You're just a bit shy, is all.
No, Nan. Already I can tell I shan't enjoy teaching. I don't know what to do with the ones who don't care.
Well, what does John do with them?
John is so in love with literature that he's not even aware that half of them sleep through his lectures.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. And you're not in love with music?
I am in love with music, but I can't stand it when my students aren't, and I'm all too aware of it when they aren't. Try my patience.
You're beginning to sound a bit like your mother, dear.
Oh, God, I do, don't I? I'm patient with people who don't love what I love. If Mum ever has loved anything or anyone.
Oh, she loves you, dear.
A little hard to tell, isn't it?
Catherine, when you were born, Myrna was so happy as I've ever seen her. She kept saying, "I've got a little girl. I've got a little girl," over and over again. Oh, she was thrilled she had a daughter after, 8 years married? And then she couldn't have any more, and she just doted on you, Catherine.
Doted on having a girl, you mean? But then the girl turned out to be me, didn't it? And that was a whole other story. She's never really taken to me wholeheartedly, Nan.
Oh, Catherine, your mum loves you. She just doesn't know how to show it. She can't quite take it in, There are people in this world who don't actually need to write their lives down on paper before they live them. I've always suspected that Myrna doesn't really think that a relaxed person can be happy. Oh, don't take it so to heart, lovey. Just between you and me, Myrna is, she's always been what you'd call uptight.
What a revelation, Nan. If only you told me earlier, I would have been saved a great deal of grief.
Yes, I suppose it is something you've always been quite well aware of. How just one less cup of tea, dear?
Really, though, Nan, I don't know why she can't just accept me as I am. I'm not like her. I'm rather more like Dad, actually. I mean, I've heard that often enough from her. Usually when I'm too occupied to jump at her command. Oh, you're just like your father, Catherine.
I think you were very like your father was. You're tall, same coloring, same interests, same imagination.
Something mothers never had. Fancies, Mum calls them. She used to hate it when Dad would tell me stories before I went to sleep.
Jealous.
Jealous? Of me?
Your mother was very surprised, I think, at what a rival a daughter can be for a husband's affection.
A rival for Dad? Nan, that sounds sick. That's disgusting.
Catherine, I know you're newly married, dear, but really, Must you think about sex all the time?
I don't think about sex all the time.
And I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about who you are, Catherine. Your interests, your thinking. You and your dad were like two peas in a pod. You could talk to each other, something your mother was never able to do with either of you, or with me. She was left out, Catherine.
She could have been part.
No, Catherine. Myra doesn't understand anybody who's not all practicality.
She thinks imagination is a waste of time.
And do you?
Sort of, but I can't help it. It just happens. I think stuff up and it's nice. Better than practicality. It's always been better.
Better than the life you're living?
Sometimes. Well, not better exactly, but well, more interesting, certainly. I can usually manage to dream up a more interesting life than what is happening presently, I'm afraid.
And so did this Grace Metellus person writing this Peyton Place here. You ought to have a go, Catherine. Writing the stuff of your dreams, I mean. At least I hope this book is somebody's dreams. It can't be real life, I don't think. Now help me, dear. I need to make a trip to the loo. I'm afraid I can't take the quantities of tea I used to.
You know, Nan, I do love Mom.
Of course you do, dear.
And it's all right with me that we're from entirely different planets. I just wish she wouldn't try to force me into her orbit.
I don't put much store by astrology, Catherine. You don't want to go dabbling in occultish arts. Now that's a little too fanciful, dear.
I mean, I just want her to stop trying to turn me into the girl of her dreams.
Oh, but that would be impossible. You're the girl of my dreams. Scene 3. Catherine and John's living room in a small, semi-detached, unprosperous-looking house. It is 1995, but the room looks like something from 20 years ago. It is evening and the room is heavily curtained. There are 2 easy chairs with a table in between. The table has a lamp and a telephone on it. The place is a mess with books and papers strewn about. This is the room of working writers who pay little attention to anything else. There is an upright piano in the room, but it too is covered with papers and junk. John is sitting in one of the easy chairs reading The Guardian when the telephone rings.
Oh no.
Telephone's ringing. Telephone, Catherine.
Well, why don't you answer it, John?
It's Saturday, just after dinner. It'll be your mother.
That's what I'm afraid of. Hello? Yes. This is Catherine Smith. Yes. Yes, the piano, right. Yes, I do teach beginners ordinarily, but I'm full up at the moment. No, I couldn't say when I might have an opening. Not in the foreseeable future, really. Actually, I'm phasing out of the music business. Oh, well, thank you very much, I'm sure.
Sorry, I thought it'd be your mother.
No, a reprieve of sorts. Somebody else's mother wanting to make her daughter over into the girl of her dreams. In this instance, the mother simply adores the piano. The daughter, again, in this instance, prefers rowdy games on the playing field.
Just like you and your mother, only in reverse.
'Twas ever thus. Is there a mother in the world who's actually ever satisfied with her child?
My mummy is. She adores me.
Lucky you.
Well, maternally speaking, I am lucky. But don't forget, my father still can't understand why I'm not up in London slaving away in some stuffy office making a better go of it than he did. Our parents often view us through the veil of their own discontent, Catherine. The thing to do is face it and get on with it. Of course, now your father, Mina Catherine, simply worshipped the ground you walked on.
And you are following right along in his footsteps, aren't you, darling? Shall we have our coffee now?
Yes, that would be nice. Oh, adored one, light of my life, my dream girl, my...
Don't make fun, darling.
I was merely following in your father's footsteps.
What are you after, John?
A pen, a pencil, something to write with. With only 2 people in the house and both of us up all the time writing, you'd think there'd be at least one nib of a pencil around here somewhere.
Here you are, darling.
Thank you, Catherine. I don't know how I should function without you. So, don't you think you ought to telephone your mother before it gets too late?
I'm afraid it's already too late.
It's only 8:30. You've been putting it off long enough, Catherine. I think you'd better phone her and tell her our plans for the Christmas holiday.
Plans that don't include her.
Unpleasant tasks are best not left till the last possible moment, darling.
It's only just October, John.
Yes, but you know your mother. The first sign of greenery on display in the shop windows, and she's upstairs packing her bags. She'll be getting her train tickets in another day or so. Best to phone her and break the news, darling. What a 5-letter prefix. Signifies contrary movement.
M-O-T-H-E-R, mother.
Mother's 6 letters, Catherine. It's really quite simply, darling. See this small, inoffensive instrument here?
Instrument of torture.
Just ring her up, Catherine. Tell her simply and straightforwardly that we are not going to be here this year. We are going to Neuffer over the Christmas holiday. Just us. Passage for 2, second honeymoon.
Not a good idea, John. She's not keen on honeymoons. Hated hers and laid awake nights worrying about me on mine.
And all for naught. There was nothing to do, really, was there, our honeymoon?
Unfortunately, no.
5 letters, signifies contrary movement. K-A-T-H-R-Y-N.
Catherine is 7 letters. The word is retro.
Oh, so it is. You're very clever tonight, darling. Try this. 7 letters, not mother. L blank blank S blank blank E. Convenient opportunity.
Any time other than now.
L-E blank S blank blank E. Pick up the telephone, Catherine. She'll only ring you if you don't. It's getting on to 9 o'clock. That's close to her bedtime. You know she won't let the sun go down on an uncommunicative daughter on a Saturday.
Leisure.
Leisure?
7-letter word. Leisure.
L-E blank S. Certainly. Yeah. Leisure. But convenient opportunity? How they stretch that to mean leisure, I don't know, I'm sure. I think these puzzlers are going a bit far afield these days.
Just like us.
Us? Going far afield?
Going to Tenerife for Christmas? I mean, whoever heard of such a thing as that, Catherine? Really? You and John are not exactly members of the jet set, you know. Not the leisure class, Catherine. Tenerife for Christmas? Why, I don't think I have the proper clothes for a warm place at the Christmas holiday.
Which is why you must telephone your mother promptly, Catherine. She does not need proper clothes for staying home at the holiday.
I can't tell her, John. I feel terribly, terribly guilty. I shan't be able to go.
Catherine, once in 17 years, we go off by ourselves at the Christmas holiday. Your mother won't crumple without your dancing attendance upon her for once.
I can't do it, John. I shall have to stay home. have her here as usual, and suffer.
Well, it appears to me that you're going to suffer either way, Catherine, as am I. So why not suffer alone with me in Tenerife?
Getting another cup of coffee.
That's the telephone. Good evening. Oh, Stansby, yes. Good to hear your voice, old man. Of course. Yes, indeed, you may. Tomorrow, convenient time for you? It is for me. Come for tea, why don't you? Yes, certainly. Bring the rough draft. I'll be only too happy to give you the benefit of my blue pencil. If I can find my blue pencil in this. Yes, of course. No, Stansby, no trouble at all. My wife is only too pleased to welcome my students into the bosom of our little family. Give them a taste of the milk of human kindness and all that. Warm hearth and home stuff, you know, old man. See you tomorrow then, Stanby. Thank you, darling. Young Stanby sends his regards. Says he can't wait to meet you.
Oh, I've no doubt of that. You gave me such a glowing introduction, but really, John, bosom of the family, milk of human kindness, so your metaphors are beginning to take on a life of their own, John.
Well, it does describe you, darling. Your open door policy where my students are concerned is well known, Catherine. I suspect many of them take my classes just for the fringe benefit of your kind hospitality towards the little types so far removed from Mummy's loving care.
Lucky them.
Lucky?
To be so far removed from Mummy's loving care.
Oh, well, yes. Of course, they do not have Myrna Coleman for a mummy.
No, there is only one Myrna Coleman on this earth, I should think, and I expect I shall be hearing from her shortly. Have you moved the furniture like I told you, Catherine? Cover those worn spots on the carpet? It's a pity you have to make do with such tatty furnishings. Now, if you marry that nice young...
That'll do, Catherine.
Oh, but I'm just getting warmed up here. You want me to ring her up, don't you, John? I've got to get into proper frame of mind, haven't I? How about your hair, Catherine? What have you done about your hair? Now, I've given you money for a perm, and I hope you haven't gone and wasted it on some more old books or some such as that. When I come down at the holiday, I shall want to see your hair all in a proper do, Catherine. It's the least effort you could make to fix yourself up a bit. You're beginning to look like your old man. And your sedentary habits, Catherine, just like your father, you'll end up just the same.
Catherine.
Oh, no, don't stop me now. Let me get in character, John. Let me get ready for the call.
You really must find a better way to cope with your mother, darling. This is getting to be an unusually long-running play. It'll soon surpass The Mousetrap.
That's it. Brilliant idea, John.
Oh?
Yes. I'm going to write it.
Write it.
Yes. That's how I shall cope with Mother. I shall write her down on paper. I shall take this dream girl and hang her out for the world to see.
Another Mummy Dearest. Another mother-daughter expose. You've read about Joan Crawford. You've read about Betty Davis. You've read all about Nancy Reagan. Now, for the first time ever, ta-da! The unexpurged Myrna Coleman.
Oh, God, I can't stand it, John. I can't stand the thought of her coming to stay for even a day.
You don't have to, darling. We're going away this time, just you and me.
Going to Tenerife. Just you and John. But you're together all the time, Catherine. Won't there be a little trying? Just the two of you in some hot place like that? Whatever will you do to pass the time?
I'm sure she is not so devoid of imagination as that, Catherine.
Oh, John, it's just that I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I either have her and suffer in her presence, or I don't have her.
And suffer in her presence. The telephone is ringing.